Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby here, and I've just got back from Tank Fest where we got to see lots of lovely war machines such as this, the Pershing. So at Tank Fest, Wargaming had a stand, and luckily we were able to play the Super Pershing, which I'm displaying the stats of here on the right, and the regular Pershing stats on the left. So let's just run over the Super Pershing and see if we can get an idea of what it's going to be like. We can see that it has 10 more health points than the regular Pershing with the upgraded turret. It is significantly heavier. They're over 7 tons heavier than a fully kitted out regular Pershing. It's got significantly less engine power, 204 horsepower loss. Its top speed has dropped by 10. Its traverse speed has dropped by 6. The hull armor and the turret armor I will get onto in more detail later on. We can also see that it's lost some view range, 22 meters worth, which is quite significant considering the role that I usually like to play on a Pershing. Now looking at the gun stats, we can see that it's got slightly lower rate of fire, although this difference is negligible. It's lost 10 millimeters of average penetration using credit ammo, and also 10 using gold ammo. Its average damage remains the same, it's slightly less accurate, but its aim time is the same. So on paper its hull armor is the same, but its turret armor has dropped slightly. However, this is an image of the frontal armor of the Super Pershing. We can see that it's got spaces in between the armor, and the angle is about as good as it could be. This should give the Super Pershing, I've read, about a frontal armor of 200 millimeters, which should be great when angled at trying to bounce low penetration guns. Its turret receives the same treatment and gets spaced armor. I haven't done any conclusive testing as I was only able to play the Super Pershing once, but it should make going hull down in this tank a lot better, which is fantastic. So let's get stuck straight into the gameplay. Apologies for the quality of the footage, a little bit shaky at times, but it was recorded using a mobile phone. The best that we could do to get you this footage that was displayed in public. So here we can see the Super Pershing. You can see the spaced shield on the front of the turret, and also the highly armored and spaced frontal plates. So having a look around, I think it's a pretty tank. The turret sort of looks like a mix between the Pershing and the Patton, and yeah, the gun's just basically the same as on the Pershing, and a very good 90mm. And yeah, at Tank Fest, it's quite interesting that all these test tanks joined regular servers. So some of you might have already seen the Super Pershing if you were playing over the weekend, if you got lucky, and got to see it up close. So instantly, we can see how slow this beast is. I'm autoing forwards, we're up to 20, 21, 22, 22. Okay, we're about to go down a slope. Let's see if we reach its top speed. We go up to 37. There you go. There's its top speed down a slope. Now we've got another issue of climbing another hill. This isn't exactly the biggest hill in the world, but we've dropped down to 6 kilometers an hour. And this is me trying to give it as much throttle as we can. And we're finally over the hill. So yeah, guys, just to say, I will do a bit more analysis at the end. But this tank, in a nutshell, is probably about the same acceleration as you get in an E100. It will definitely be the slowest Tier 8 medium by a long shot. It's painfully slow, and I'll discuss this more later on in the video. So here we can see we're playing quite defensively on this map. We're unable really to flank. We're going along here and we're barely able to get above 20 kilometers an hour. Apologies for there being no sound, but this was in a headset and not on speakers. There's no way for us to be able to get you that sound of the game. So there were quite long queues at the Wargaming stand. You had to queue for about 30 to 40 minutes at normal times to be able to have a game. Some people stayed on for too many games, in my opinion. So I just wanted to play one and get off and give some other people a go, you know? So I'm not waiting around. I want to test this tank out. You don't want to play campy camp when there's a queue of people behind you. So we can see that the wargaming tanks had full perks on, all of the perks on all of the crew members. And we're about to shoot our first tank here. Type in the side. Fairly standard stuff. It's hard to gauge how strong this gun is going to be, considering that I'm firing gold here at the moment. Should have loaded some armor-piercing rounds in hindsight to give you a better idea. But if any of you have played the Pershing, then this will play very similar. So we can see there how annoying it is to have worse turret and track traverse. It took us a while to be able to turn around there. It would have taken us a fraction of that time if we had been in a Pershing. You sacrifice a hell of a lot of mobility to be able to gain the extra armor. And you also lose penetration and rate of fire and accuracy on the gun. We can just see how slow it is to turn there. This really doesn't feel like a medium tank. We have an object trying to scout us out. I'm not going to go around the corner. That was a bad shot there. Making sure I'm keeping my frontal armor to the object to try and scare him off, and we managed that. So the object's coming round. I'm going to try and use the VK as a shield, but the object still manages to hit us. I'll try and see where that shot went through in a second. So there we bounce one of the object shells using our spaced armor on our turret by the looks of it. Yep, look, that's where the object shell just went in, if you caught a glimpse of it there. So it went straight through the spaced armor of the frontal spaced armor of the turret, but then got stopped before it did any damage. I don't want to get bogged down by this object, so I feel like I want to go and keep moving. Let's go and see where this tiger... The tiger's going to kill me now. Looks like he went straight through the front of the tank, either through the turret or the spaced armor, the body armor. So yeah, you guys saw how slow this tank is. And just to put this in perspective, I'm going to put up a few stats for you. So as we've already mentioned, the Super Pershing has a horrific engine. Its horsepower per ton ratio is significantly less than the Pershing, significantly less than its peer, also the T-32, much worse than all the other Tier 8 medium tanks, or even the Tier 8 heavy tanks. It has slightly higher horsepower to ton ratio than the E100 and the Mouse, making it one of the slowest tanks in the game. So it really isn't a medium tank. So I thought, let's try and compare it to the T-32. Well, the T-32, as you guys know, has got an excellent turret. Excellent turret. You can more or less go hold down and from the front know that you're safe from being penetrated unless they catch your commander's hatch. So does the Super Pershing have any significant benefits over the T-32 then? Well, we can see it's got slightly better traverse, it's got a slightly better top speed, its DPS is the same, it's got worse alpha damage, though it's got much less penetration unless you use gold, but its accuracy is slightly better. In all honesty, after playing the Super Pershing, I feel in its current state it will be one of the weakest tanks in the game tier for tier, simply because of its speed. It's much slower than any of the other heavy tanks, yet it doesn't have a gun or any other attributes which mean that it would be able to shine in any one individual area. This is what I really liked about the regular Pershing, the fact that it was sort of a jack of all trades, I think some people call it. This allows you to do as much on the battlefield as you can, as long as you're careful and realize that you don't have huge amounts of armor. You can beast around and give it your best shot, which has allowed me to get stats such as these in the regular Pershing. I really wanted to love the Super Pershing, as the regular Pershing tank is one of my favourites in the game tier for tier at the moment. However, in its current state, I really can't recommend it, and they have to buff the engine power, otherwise it's going to be a horrible tank to play, in my opinion, and it will be there just for people who want to have a Super Pershing for the sake of having a Super Pershing, rather than wanting to have a tank that is probably going to make them any kind of credits or perform well on the battlefield. So thanks a lot for watching my video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it and this has given you an idea of what the Super Pershing is like in its current state. Please give it a like if it's helped you, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and check out my live streams on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby. So I really enjoyed Tankfest this year, guys. Thanks a lot to Wargaming for making it an excellent event with their presence, and good luck to everyone out on the battlefield, and hopefully I'll catch you soon.